everybody, today we are going to do a tapping on don't take things personally. Feel free to take a drink of water and meet me at the side of the hand and repeat after me. Even though I tend to take things personally, but there's always the truth on the other side to that thing that makes me feel frustrated and annoyed. Because sometimes my brain can spin these unhelpful, mean stories for all kinds of reasons. And although some people can be like, I don't give a fuck, I tend to overthink things. Sometimes with my little anxious brain. And I know that there's always room for improvement on the other side of my bias opinion. And now it's time to confront it and learn from this self-destructive habit. Because over time, it can crush my confidence, it could waste my time, and it could also sabotage my relationships. But with a little bit of effort and with a little bit of time and understanding, I can slowly break that cycle of defensiveness and in turn protect my peace of mind. How I can now not take things personally is by checking my own biases before jumping to conclusions. Because sometimes we have those knee-jerk instincts to go on the offense. More about my own perception versus the actual reality. For example, maybe two buddies I'm hanging out with. Maybe my two buddies hung out without me, but I'm convinced that they hate me. Because my former toxic circle that I was friends with, they would do that shit all the time and exclude me. But maybe I can recognize my defensiveness. Maybe it's rooted in past experiences and not in the present moment. That can be the first solid step towards interrupting that spiral and rethinking whether I'm truly being targeted by my friends. Another wonderful step for me to not take things personally is ask before I assume. Because when something feels off, I can't just jump straight into my mind reading mode. So I have to ask that person, like, hey, what do you mean by this? And this approach works best with people when you're close enough to actually have a conversation with. Because most of the time, someone's response will give you much needed reassurance to quiet any anxious thoughts down. Or confirm that they didn't intend to hurt me. Another good approach for not taking things personally is by getting busy. It's easy to get caught up in worst case scenarios when too much time is on your hands. A better use of my time is keeping to myself and keeping myself occupied with soothing distractions, whether it's getting lost in an episode of a Real Housewives or lacing up for a quick jog around the block. Even just a few minutes of this could really release my tension and break the cycle of overthinking. Not to mention, these little joys can be a much needed reminder that life is much bigger than this one moment. Another good, helpful tool for not taking things personally is consider their point of view or circumstances. Because not everything is about you. And sometimes stepping back to see a bigger picture can allow you to realize what dismissive comment or cold interaction may be more about what's going on with that. Another good thing to consider is, could there be something else going on in our life? There's so many things that could have happened. Maybe their hinged match didn't follow up for their second date. Maybe your friend hasn't been talking to you for a while. And this isn't to excuse their behavior. For a few off incidents, though, considering their point of view can quiet that them versus me mentality. And can be much needed reminder that their mood and actions aren't personal. Another thing that can help me about not taking things personally is thinking about the times that I've done something similar. Have you ever done something where you're like, being that other person that leaves that friend out? But when you put yourself in their shoes, it becomes easier to give others the benefit of the doubt. You're reminding everyone around you and yourself that everyone is human. And maybe right now I can be a little more empathetic and understanding to this person, because I'm letting go of unrealistic expectations that people always be on their best behavior. Another thing in order to not take things personally, reframe feedback to focus on your actions, not your identity. So if somebody like your partner has been saying, I've been feeling underappreciated late, that can easily sound like you're a terrible partner and triggers an instant defensive reflex or even petty comeback. But just because someone is asking you to do something differently doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Instead of making it who you are, try rewording the critique to focus on specific behavior. That way you make their comment less personal insult and more fixable suggestion that may inspire you to plan more dates or say I love you. Another thing to not take things personally, at that I don't take things personally now, is to fight self-doubts with stronger self-esteem. Boosting your confidence makes it a whole lot easier to naturally brush off moments, or at least avoid going down the rabbit hole. Because ultimately the comments that'll hurt the most usually tap into something we've already been insecure about. Say you're already doubting your abilities at work. In that case, even a well-meaning constructive criticism can feel like a confirmation that you're failing. The good news is confidence is something you can build up, step by step. Make the process a little less overwhelming. Surround yourself with people who remind you you're amazing. And wonderful things will manifest when you don't take things personally. And so it is. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy this video. I'll see you next time. Feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel get boosted. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week and a wonderful Monday. Have a lovely day, y'all. Appreciate y'all.